Thank you for joining us on Engage Chesterfield. Today we are talking with Dr. Merv Daugherty, Superintendent for Chesterfield County Public Schools, about his first 100 days, building relationships and his belief on the importance of family and community engagement in our schools. Welcome, Dr. Daugherty.
Thank you for having me.
So wow, 100 days. Does it seem like it's gone by that fast?
No, it really hasn't. I've just been extremely busy out and about in the community and with the schools.
So what are some of your big observations and your takeaways after your 100 days?
I've been very impressed with the instructional practices in the buildings. I have a chance to go into classrooms when we're visiting schools through the visitations or the Game Changer program or just ambassador program. And people really don't know we're coming. They don't know that we're going to show up. But the classroom teachers are doing a great job. They're supporting the buildings. You're seeing a lot of that. Strong leadership in our schools with our principals and administrators. Very impressed with our district staff and how hard they're working and the commitment they have to our children. And I think as long as we can continue to push the idea forward that we're here to support and serve, and that our children are the most important thing that we have, and that everyone counts, I think we're going to continue to move the needle to become a great school district.
A lot of what you talk about is really centered in building those strong relationships between family members and schools and students and staff. Why do you think that those relationships are so vital?
You know, sometimes you have to look at us in a business model that we have clients, and our clients are our students and our parents. And we have to meet their needs. You know, everybody wants us to have great test scores, but we also need to make sure that we have the engagement with our families, that they're coming in and struggling in areas that maybe 5 years ago didn't exist, from trauma to poverty to medical to mental health. And so the continuous of engagement that we have with our parents and our community is vital for our success, that our parents feel that we care about their children and we care about them, and that we provide services where we can, or get them to an opportunity to get services somewhere else from an outside agency, that they feel, one, education is important, but one, we care about them. I'm a big fan of win the hearts before you win the minds. And you have to really make sure that people know that you're sincere about them. That's like any child. When they know that you really care about them, behavior changes. And we have a society where we always think about us, and we should be thinking about other people all the time. And so when we can get to the point where every child that walks into our school is important, but they come with a family, then that engagement actually improves. And we want the engagement for parents, even if it's positive comments or constructive criticism, because sometimes we live by perception. And we want to change the perception that people know that when you walk into our schools, any of our schools, that we care about you as an individual.
So you've touched on this a little bit before, but you know, I'm hearing you talk about climate and culture and communication and that community engagement piece and how they all kind of work together. And you've done some initiatives that have really supported this even since you've been here. Can you speak to some of those?
Thanks for asking. Well, you know, we talked about how do we get our message out to people? How do we let people know the great things we're doing? And to be very transparent and honest and create a trustworthiness. And so by having the Monday message for our staff members, letting them know the great things that are going on, from the Wednesday news release, here's, you know, letting the community, let the business community know, the residents of our district know of the great things that happen that are going on. And the Friday family memo, which just tells parents, hey, here's things you need to know and some things that you want to be involved with. I think you can never have too much communication. I'd rather people say you're giving us too much information and not enough. And by getting out and about with the ambassador program, which really is a art of communication for us, by everyone in the district office out at a school, learning about that particular school, being an advocate for that school, whereas they see things a little different than maybe the principal does, and can communicate that back saying school A or school B needs additional assistance in this area. I think they're all vital to what we're trying to do, as well as how do we continue to support information from our district all of our district offices and all of our schools to our parents that they can understand it in a clear way.
So I think that kind of goes into, you mentioned those initiatives that you are, kind of really championing within the school division around that, building the culture of communication and a positive climate. When you think about education systems, the good ones are the ones that stay up to date with trends, but I think the next piece of it is the exceptional school divisions are the ones that are setting the trends. And so when you think about where Chesterfield County Public Schools is going to be in the future, what are some of those things that you see us taking the lead on in the region, in the district, the state, or not the district, the state, or the nation?
You hear a lot of people talking about the issues of education, from mental health to special education to English language learners, early literacy, etc. And so we do a lot of really good things here in Chesterfield. And if we're going to be a leader in those areas, then we should be in the forefront of holding regional conferences, in doing advanced training. A school district only gets better by the professional development that occurs for the people who are in the classroom, in the schools, and in the district, that we are all speaking the same language. We have a very strong strategic plan in Imagine Tomorrow. It has two major components, instruction and the whole student. We only grow when everybody understands the strategic plan. That's the base. It's a strong plan. I like the plan. And so are we generating all of our resources and actions to meeting those two goals, which have multiple subgroups to them. But the base of us, are we doing a good job in training our professionals in the classroom? And are we supporting them in the classroom? And then are we doing a great job in supporting the child? Either it's through mental health, it's through vision, it's through hearing, it's through whatever avenue that we have. And that also involves in the opportunity for us to press the envelope, to think outside the box, to do things that no one else is doing, such as we're looking at our calendar next year and trying to be more creative with our calendar, support children and they come into school on the first day, to looking at how we improve parent conferences to get more of our parents engaged with what we're trying to do, and to be more transparent in getting out and about with our partners and saying, hey, look at the things we're changing because society's changing that will make us a better school district. And so when we can continue to push that envelope, I think districts fail when they feel that they're in a silo by themselves. And I have told everyone, we are not making our size an excuse. Everybody wants to talk about how big we are. No, it's how we communicate our message that everyone's on board. And I think we're trying to do that in a way. I've only been here 100 days, but I think we're trying to send a message that we want you to know what we're about. And that's just not our teachers and our parents, but our residents as well. 400,000 residents, we want them to know what we're about.
It's exciting. So this is the final question. And
Sure.
You think about that first 100 days, which was the question we started off with. What's been your most favorite thing you've experienced in your first 100 days?
I would say the opportunity that I get a chance to go in the classroom and read to students. That's our job, are the children. And I've had the opportunity, I've been invited to schools, my calendar's full of coming out reading or talking to students or being involved from high school to elementary. I was at elementary school, we were doing a reading, and I always invite students to read with me. And she stole the show, and I just sit back, and it's all about her. It wasn't about me. And she did a great job. I was in a kindergarten class, and it was a book on numbers, and we were having an interaction with the students and the numbers, and they would come up and read. And they're never shy about wanting to be involved. Even if they can't read, we'll help them through that. But I think the opportunity just to see the children that we are responsible for is always going to be the best part of my day. And we deal with a lot of issues. But I think if people really want to know who we are, come into our schools, see what we do. You will be motivated like I am to say, what can I do more to help our children get better?
Thank you. And thank you so much for everything that you've done and continue to do for Chesterfield County. And thanks for stopping by to share your time and expertise with us. And thank you for joining us on Engage Chesterfield.